There's that saying they say, isn't it, that you should never stop learning. Um, but sometimes, something gets thrust into your life where you have to become an absolute expert at it, a subject you probably never thought that you'd have to study, and you just have to be well, so knowledgeable about it, something you never really thought that you would have to learn about. And that's what I had to do. I was a dementia caregiver for my mother for over a decade. And today I'm sharing with you a series of things that we've learned along the way that hopefully will allow you to see the caregivers in your families or in your lives in a different way. Because, when dementia enters the family, the learning curve is really steep and it never sort of really flattens out. The caregiver becomes, over time, an expert, not in an academic sense, but in the most practical, sort of real world, useful way. They learn the condition, they learn the different types and the different stages of dementia and the likely progression. They have to learn about the medications and the side effects and the interactions of that. They also learn about the legal framework, the financial side of entitlements, and the care system is such a juggle that you have to learn about, and how to navigate it. They learn what works and what works specifically for the person that they care for, because you don't have a textbook for that. No one can tell you about the dementia for the loved one that you care for, because every person with dementia is different. And most people do this learning late at night on forums, looking through websites of support, or through other caregivers who've been through it through trial and error. And they get things wrong sometimes, and they just keep trying again and again. And they have conversations with professionals who sometimes should know more, but generally know less about the day to day reality than the caregiver that's sitting right in front of them. So you end up turning, to other sources, being self-directed, because there's a lot at stake here, and you have to learn to build that knowledge up with the deep practical knowledge and find the things that are genuinely useful. And you know, many dementia caregivers end up sharing that information, what they know, because they've seen it all. They go into the communities in their conversations, and they share that information with the next family who may be starting out, because they remember what it was like, what it felt like to not know what you needed to know, and they don't want someone else to feel that way. So learning, especially as a dementia caregiver, never really stops. And so I think this is one of the key main things that you need to realize about dementia caregiving and what it means. That education and learning is one aspect of that. And it takes a lot of time and effort for a caregiver to do that. And they do that for the person they love or the person they care for. So I hope that's useful for you. This is another episode of the series of what caregiving means to me, or what dementia caregiving could mean to you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like and comment, subscribe. Hopefully, more than one person will ever watch these, these videos of mine. If you do, just drop me a comment, please. Anyway, take care. Speak to you next week. Bye.